Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on News Center Maine Plus and online. I'm meteorologist Ryan Breton with an update on this active weather pattern. We've got another system coming in for Saturday night into Sunday morning. It is going to have more moisture with it, but it doesn't track up into Maine. So instead, it's really the southern half or southern 2/3 of the state that are going to have the most snow out of this storm. We do get a break for a couple of days. Then there's another storm on Wednesday, which looks like it will track to our south, but that may be followed up with another storm on Thursday of next week, which could be a bit stronger and track closer to us, bringing another round of accumulating snow. The weekend storm as of Friday evening is out over the Rockies, and it's going to track through the middle of the country so that by 6 o'clock Saturday morning, moving through Oklahoma and Kansas, headed into Missouri as well. This storm is generally going to take a track from west to east, and that means that this precipitation shield will travel from west to east. If we wanted a classic big Maine snowstorm, the storm track would have to curl up into the Gulf of Maine and the Bay of Fundy, and then this area of snow will go all through the state, bringing several inches of snow. Instead, this time with a track that just goes in this fashion, southern New England will get quite a bit of snow. Even places like Hartford, Boston, Worcester, southern New Hampshire, and places in Maine closest to there, meaning the southern half of the state, will also get into this band of heavy snow that comes through overnight Saturday night into Sunday morning. It does make a quick exit, though. It'll zip along, and it looks like by midday on Sunday, most of the accumulation is done, and we'll just have a few snow showers for Sunday afternoon. So if you have Saturday night plans, the timing of this is, of course, going to be important. I think in central and eastern Maine, you're dry through at least midnight. The snow very slowly moves into eastern Maine and never really gets to the county. But if you're in this area in southern and western Maine, and certainly over into New Hampshire, the snow could begin as early as about 10 p.m. So if you do have any plans to go out for Saturday evening, as long as you're home by about 10 o'clock in this part of the state, you should avoid most of the snow. And it is going to be cold, so once it starts, that snow will accumulate pretty quickly. We'll show you this here hour by hour. 7 o'clock Saturday evening, clouds have increased, but it's still dry across Maine and New Hampshire. Notice how the snow fills in, though. By 10 o'clock, it's snowing through most of the Granite State. First flakes coming into Cumberland and York counties, and it's happening with temperatures in the upper teens to low 20s. That's a big part of this forecast. The fact that it's going to be cold, not only at the ground, but up through the column of air too, means that the snow growth or the fluff factor in this storm will be pretty healthy, particularly through the southern half of the state. By midnight, snow moving into central and mid-coast Maine. It follows after that, moving into eastern Maine, but never really gets to the far north. I think that through the middle of the night, 2, 3 in the morning, we'll have some pretty good snowfall rates in these bands that make it into southern and parts of central Maine, likely over an inch per hour, and with temperatures that are well below freezing. If you do have any reason to be out at this time, the roads are going to be in pretty tricky shape. That steady snow continues throughout 4, 5, 6 in the morning. But watch what happens after 6 in the morning. This starts to lose some of its punch. So we'll taper this down to lighter snow, I think, in most spots by 8 a.m. But with the cold air in place, it'll be still pretty tricky getting around at that point. Likely to be some delays and cancellations for maybe some Sunday services and activities. But after that, this does taper down. I think noontime, we just have some flurries and snow showers, and the majority of the accumulation, if not all of it, is pretty much done by noontime on Sunday. There could just be a lingering snow shower in the afternoon, and temperatures will generally be in the 20s to near 30 in central and southern Maine Sunday afternoon. I want to show you a couple of the computer models. Yesterday, if you were with us, they had trended south, but our hunch was that they could come back north a little bit, and indeed they have. This particular computer model pretty much matching up with the forecast we put out yesterday, as does this one here, and you get the general trend. It's really the southern half of the state that has the best chance for the highest amounts, while there won't be much snow up over northern Maine. So our going forecast is for 4 to 8 inches of snow from about Augusta, Waterville south, including the mid-coast, all of western and southern Maine over into New Hampshire. Once you get into the Bangor area, over into down east, including all of the coastline area of Washington County, north of MDI, 2 to 4 inches of snow here. And then from about Lincoln north, there probably won't be much. A dusting up to 2 inches of snow, and there may only be a few flurries up on the crown part of the county around Escort Station and Van Buren. Probably not much of anything up there. Do want to mention there could be a few locally higher amounts on the York County coast. If we get some pretty impressive snowfall rates, an inch, inch and a half per hour during the middle of the night, there could be a couple of towns that get 9 or maybe even 10 inches of snow. I don't think that will be the rule. It's probably more the exception, but wouldn't shock me if we get an isolated higher amount or 2 in that part of the state. So Sunday, 7 p.m., this storm pulls away. We do have a couple of quiet days to start next week. Both Monday and Tuesday look quiet. Another storm will be ejecting out of the mid-Atlantic Tuesday, and at the same time, a front will be coming down from the north. This could bring us a few snow showers Tuesday night into Wednesday, but I think this system mainly misses us to the south, so we don't have to worry much about that one. However, there may be another one on its heels for Thursday of next week, and this one may take more of a classic track up toward Maine, which would spread the heavier snow farther inland and north. Obviously a ways out, but the signals early on are pretty good for this one, if you like snow, that is, on Thursday of next week. And then that could be followed by another system next weekend. Now we're getting way out into kind of model fantasy land here, but the signals are fairly strong that this active pattern will continue, and there may be another chance for some snow heading into next weekend too. So here's a look at your 7-day forecast. We'll have sunshine giving way to clouds on Saturday, dry through the day, but snow begins between about 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. Saturday night into Sunday morning. Snow is done by midday Sunday, but a good chance for several inches in central and southern Maine. You should have time to shovel and plow before any Super Bowl planned Sunday evening. Dry for Monday and Tuesday, could be a few snow showers Tuesday night into Wednesday, and then we will watch that next storm on Thursday, but it does look like we'll get about a 3-day break from needing to plow and shovel around here. That's our forecast. Stay with us all weekend long. Aaron Myler, Dana Osgood, Todd Guttner will have you updated on the storm through the weekend. You can join us on newscentermaine.com and anytime on News Center Maine Plus.